My name's Kevin. Thanks for coming back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to get more videos like this. Today I'm going to be fixing a leak. I've had a small gas leak that's been coming from the front of the RV. This is not a huge repair, but it is a safety problem, and you do want to get this fixed for a couple of reasons. One, the fire danger is a big one. That's probably the biggest one, but leaking propane like that, if you boondock a lot, you're going to be out of gas before you know it and wonder why. Always remember that when you're around propane handling gas, you need to be safe. If you're not comfortable with this sort of thing, you should consult a professional to help you out. I've noticed recently that I've had this LP gas smell coming from the front of the trailer, and that's never good to have a gas leak. So inspecting what's going on at the front, I've noticed that there's a smell coming from inside the tank case that holds the tanks. Took the cover off and I'm looking at the hoses, and you can see that one of the hoses is really corroded. It's not a very old hose, but the rubber is really degraded, and I'm going to replace that hose. On the other tank, there's a leak where the fitting joins the propane tank. Pushing on the hose makes a gas leak out, and that's not right. I found the leak quite by accident, which is always a reason for going out and inspecting your hoses and making sure that you don't have this problem as well. Having a propane leak is no joke. You want to fix that. It's a safety hazard, fire hazard, explosion problem. So I found this leak by moving my tanks. I recently put some sensors on, and there's a video for that here. You can click and go take a look at that. I noticed the one tank was getting lower, and I was wondering why, because I had recently filled that tank up. So as I was moving the tanks around, they're secured to the trailer, and I was moving the tanks, I heard a gas leak. As I'm checking all the hoses and connections, I found this gas leak on this hose. So this is going to be a simple fix. I'm only using a couple of crescent wrenches today. So I went down to my local hardware store, and most stores have replacement gas line hoses for that because RVs are so popular. And they're not very expensive. I think at the time of this video, I paid $12.99 per hose. These are threaded compression fittings on my regulator, and so I'm not going to use any thread tape to seal them up. They're going to seal just by compressing against the fitting on the inside, and that's going to be good enough for me. If you're new to using your tanks and you haven't hooked them up very often, what you should know is these fittings, the green fittings that go onto the tank, those are hand tighten only. You don't need a wrench to tighten those. They have a compression fit when they go up against the tank. Hand tighten will seal it right up. The rubber O-ring in there makes the seal, and you're done. You always want to inspect the gas lines in the end with soapy water to make sure you don't have any leaks anywhere. So I've replaced all the hoses, and I don't need any gas thread line tape because these are compression fittings on both sides. So I screwed them back in, gave them a tighten, not over tighten, and now I'm going to test for leaks. I'm turning the gas on to the two tanks, and you want to make sure and turn the gas on slowly, not full blast, because there's a chance, it could happen, where you can give a little vapor lock or pressure lock to these regulators. And what that'll do is cause problems for your refrigerator, your stove, maybe your furnace. So I grabbed some dish soap from the kitchen, put that on a sponge in a little tub of water, and that's what I'm using to test for gas leak. And I'm just taking this sudsy portion and making sure the little suds stay on the fittings, and that'll let me know if there's a gas leak. That's telling me I've got a leak right here, maybe. If you've ever wondered if you're going to have a leak and when you can tell, there's your sign of gas leak. I've replaced a number of hoses, and many times I hesitate not to put soapy water on because it seems like, I've done this, I know what to do. And here's a perfect example why it's a great reason to always check your connections. Now that I've got these new hoses on and I've checked for leaks with soapy water, I want to do the test that I did last time to see if this thing still leaks. And that's rock solid. That's what you want. You should not have a leak at all. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up. I replaced the two hoses, which were my problem for having a gas leak. I've checked them with soapy water to make sure there was no leak. and lock the tanks back down. Now we're ready for some camping. Well, if you got something from this video and you like the video, smash that like button down below. Let me know that this is the kind of thing you like to see. If you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and click that notification bell so you can get more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.